Alright guys, so a pretty unexpected video today, but it appears as though the screeners have already been sent out for the Bad Batch Season 2. Now, some very lucky individuals have gotten them, and they've also left their reviews. I believe this is for the first 14 of the 16 episodes, and they've shared their thoughts. I don't think they gave out screeners for the last two. Those are a surprise. We'll talk about the episodes in a moment. No jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So the first review comes from Russ Milheim, and Russ is a pretty well-established writer over at The Direct. So this is what he says: I quite enjoyed the first 14 episodes of The Bad Batch. Overall, it's better than the freshman run. That's awesome news, we love to hear that. And he says, with Crosshair's storyline being particularly strong, there's also some interesting and unexpected lore tidbits throughout. Ooh, very interesting indeed. Okay, let's talk about Crosshair for just a moment. So with Crosshair's storyline, we really don't know what to expect. After Season 1, after he decided to remain on Kamino, it was expected that maybe in Season 2 he's going to have some sort of redemption arc. But we've got to remember in the Season 1 finale, Crosshair tells Hunter that he had his chip removed. Now, in yesterday's video, I talked about the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer and the conversation between Cody and Crosshair and the overall themes of what it's like being a clone in the Empire. In the video, I said Crosshair had his chip removed, so it's kind of weird he's acting like this, still loyal to a regime that hates him. And a few of you pointed out, how do we know that Crosshair really did have his chip removed? He might just be saying that. He underwent some sort of procedure to strengthen his loyalty. So maybe he thinks that's his chip being removed. But last year, following Season 1, Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rouse sat down with StarWars.com, and they kind of said, it's not a misdirect, Crosshair really did have his chip removed. So I do think that's final, I do think that's the direction. Having said that, a lot might have changed in production, and this guy, Russ Milheim, says that Crosshair's story is particularly strong, and to this end, I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few twists and turns in the story. He also says some interesting and unexpected lore tidbits. Now, given the fact we're going to Kashyyyk, the Gungi story, the Tarful story, the Trandoshans, we're also going to see Geonosis again, and Sereno at Dooku's palace, not to mention Coruscant with Palpatine, Masamida, maybe even Mon Mothma and others. It's not surprising that this season is going to have a lot of Star Wars lore, advancing it, adding to it, maybe bringing things in from Revenge of the Sith, the comics, the books, lots of stuff. And after Star Wars Celebration, having seen the trailer at the time, and now the final trailer, I'm not surprised. And in my opinion, unexpected is the best part of Star Wars animation. The Bad Batch does that so well. I mean, think back to Season 1, I don't think any of us were prepared for the destruction of Kamino. So Russ basically tells us that this season, in his opinion, was much better than the first, which is really encouraging. But another great sign is the fact that Star Wars did not send out the final 2 episodes. If you remember the other day, they broke down on their website the structure of Season 2. So on January the 4th, we have a 2-episode premiere. On February 8th, mid-season, we have episodes 7 and 8 dropping on that Wednesday. And then at the end of the season, on March the 29th, a 2-episode finale. The Summit, which I think could be about Mount Tantis, and Plan 99. Maybe this is the Imperial plan to destroy the Bad Batch. Now, it's pretty telling that they didn't send these 2 out, so everyone, including those who got the screeners, are going into those episodes blind. So hopefully, as Wanda Sykes says, something very juicy is planned for those 2 episodes. But I am a little bit worried. Could the episode title Plan 99 be signalling the death of one of the batch? I really hope it's not the case, but we spoke about last year the fact that eventually all of the members will probably die. The only exception, in my opinion, is going to be Omega. I don't think their death is going to be anytime soon, but Omega is definitely the one who's going to survive well into the Mandoverse timeline. That's my theory. She might show up in Ahsoka given that Hera Syndulla is in that, and the 2 of them started a friendship in the Bad Batch Season 1, or maybe a future season of the Book of Boba Fett. And to this end, could Boba Fett show up in Season 2? I've seen a lot of people talk about Episode 2, which is titled The Solitary Clone. I made the assumption this episode was probably going to be about Commander Cody, maybe even Crosshair or Wolf, but then again, a lot of you pointed out it could well be Boba Fett, the solitary clone. Now, talking about all of this off the cuff has me thinking about the potential tragedy we might see in Season 2. Despite everything he's been through, I've got a bad feeling Echo might be one of those who falls. There are a few clues in these titles that some of these episodes do focus on Echo, the Outpost, Spoils of War, and the Clone Conspiracy, but these could also have multiple meanings. Echo is one of my absolute favourites, and I really hope none of them die, especially not him. So the first review is positive, and if you're a Crosshair fan, this signals very very good news, and I really hope they continue the development of these characters. Fingers crossed the Bad Batch is 3 or even 4 seasons, or maybe even longer, but I do think they're going to do more spin-offs down the line. Now, if Crosshair is going to have more screen time in season 2, does this mean that there's a chance he does defect and rejoin the Batch? If his chip is removed, hopefully he sees the atrocity of the Empire and someone convinces him this is not the way. But who knows, if the creatives go back on their word, it all depends on Captain Rex, because if Crosshair thinks he's got his chip removed and it's not, then Captain Rex and the Bad Batch have a lot of work on their hands. But as I say, it looks like Crosshair is there because he wants to be there. My theory is that Crosshair, Cody, or one of the clones under the Empire does something wrong, and then the Imperials implement something way worse than Project Warmantle, something to destroy the clones. Crosshair realizes these guys are not looking out for my best interest, and maybe the message finally gets through to him, and in that way, he defects. But as the first review says, there is something very unexpected in store, and with Crosshair, we can expect a very strong storyline. So our next review comes from Sean Keane over at CNET. He said the following: I blasted through 14 episodes of The Bad Batch Season 2 last week, and it was amazing. It captures the coolest moments of Season 1, some pivotal moments in the Star Wars timeline, excellent Clone Wars callbacks, and Crosshair's storyline is incredible. So again, more praise for Crosshair. Next up, Tessa Smith from Screen Rant, and she says, I've seen the first 4 episodes of The Bad Batch Season 2, and boy does it feel bad to be back with Clone Force 99, and by bad, she means good, kind of like badass. The story so far is dark and suspenseful, with a filler episode thrown in too. I have up to episode 14, and I can't wait to keep watching. It's good. And she's stepping on the toes of what the Kiner brothers said, that Season 2 is much darker, much more film noir, suspenseful, with much more grievous and grave undertones. And finally, we have a review from Adam Holmes over at Cinema Blend. Star Wars The Bad Batch fans, I've seen the first 14 episodes of Season 2, and you're in for some fun times and wild twists ahead. This show continues to be a worthy Clone Wars successor in so many ways, and Omega and Crosshair fans will especially be well sated. Again, more emphasis on Crosshair, but also here, Omega. Truly exciting stuff. Hopefully more reviews drop over the next few days. I've got to tell you, I'm super glad they haven't released the final 2 episodes, so everyone goes in blind, and I'm sure they have something lined up which is going to blow our minds. Now, in terms of unexpected lore tidbits, apart from the things I outlined, my mind goes straight to episode 5, Entombed. I'm still convinced there are going to be some crossovers with the Kenobi series, notably on the moon of Nur. We might see how some of those Jedi got there. If that's the case, we might be seeing more of Terra Sinube. We saw him in Tales of the Jedi, in the Kenobi series, and now maybe in the Bad Batch Season 2. Of course, he originates in the Clone Wars, but share your thoughts in the comments down below, guys, of everything we spoke about. Does this review get you excited? Are you looking forward to the Bad Batch Season 2? Why so or why not? If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos not found here on YouTube, while also getting your name at the end of my videos, then click the link down there in the description. But until the next one, guys, may the Force be with you always.